Hi there. Come on in. It is Thursday night, September 23rd, 2004. Michigan's small game season is open. This weekend, the duck season opens in the Upper Peninsula. The following week is the archery deer opener statewide, along with the duck opener in the northern lower. In other words, this is the time of year when hunters come alive with a flurry of hunting seasons. I'm Zachary Trost, and in the next half hour, Fred and I will bring you the outdoor news and information that will help you become a more practical sportsman.
From the rugged shores and woodlands of the north, it's history of copper mines and iron ore, the Great Lakes fishery. To the farmlands of the southern counties we'll look around, my friend, at all that waits the sportsman in the state of Michigan. And sometimes when the moon brings out the diamonds in the snow, and the stillness of the forest lies encased in Arctic cold, the wind might whisper through the trees, listen if you can. It tells you all the beauty in the state of Michigan.
A couple of fishing headlines on the front page of the current issue. Correspondent Peter Salinas took this photo and wrote the story about Joel Harrington from Mount Clemens, who caught this 41.5-pound muskie in Lake St. Clair, which is the largest muskie ever caught and recorded in the 48-year history of the Michigan-Ontario Muskie Club's tournaments. It was 54 inches long and had a girth of 23 inches. The netman Mark Bretz is holding the fish. The article has details on this catch with another impressive photo on the inside. Members of the Michigan-Ontario Muskie Club release just about every muskie they catch, only keeping ones in the 40-pound range for mounting.
Now here's an interesting question about legal terminology. Well, it's not, you won't find it really in the law books, but it's a letter from Clifton Salient from Pawpaw. Here's what he asked. He said, I recently found a tree stand on my property, and I think someone has been hunting there. Is that considered poaching? I'd like to know so I can approach the person who I think is responsible. Well, Cliff, to me, the answer is real simple. The word poaching has evolved over the years. See, market hunting used to be legal, but after that was made illegal, the word poaching meant what market hunting used to be. In other words, shooting game at night, any technique, out of season, if there was a season, shooting tons of game and taking the meat and selling it. That was market hunting, and that really rolled into poaching. In recent years, some people have been using this term poaching to describe every fish and game infraction. You know, not signing the back of your hunting tag, or tagging a deer with the wrong tag, or hunting in an enclosed blind you're not wearing hunter orange. All of these things have been termed poaching, but I don't agree with that description. Way too broad. Like the person who put the tree stand on your property, in my mind, they aren't poaching, but they are trespassing. They're not taking game, they've just invaded your land without your permission. And if your land is farmland, this is according to the recreational trespass law, if it's farmland, if it's enclosed by a fence, or if it's posted with signs, that has to be signs 50 square inches minimum, with lettering at least 1 inch high, that states private keep out, no hunting, or something to that effect, then you can cite the trespasser for violating the Recreational Trespass Act. Now there's two ways you can go about this type of what people call prosecution. You can call a conservation officer and go for a criminal charge. But very often that charge would be pled to something less in court. There wouldn't be much of a consequence. The other option is to bring a civil suit for money damages, and that could hurt the trespasser much more than a criminal charge. See, that criminal prosecution is up to the local prosecutor, who could drop it or plea bargain, but it wouldn't cost you anything, so that's the upside. The civil suit, on the other hand, would cost you to hire an attorney, but you'd be in control of settling the case or going to trial. So back to poaching. To me, poaching involves the illegal taking of game for sale. Other sportsmen have more liberal definitions, but if a deer hasn't been taken, I don't think there's any basis to call it poaching. My opinion, of course. Now, Cliff wrote back to me and he said, I did not think that it was poaching, but I wanted another opinion. If I find a tree stand on my property from someone that is trespassing, can I confiscate it until the situation is resolved permanently? Well, Cliff, that's another question in itself and involves maybe you getting in trouble for a crime. I'm going to explain that on Sportsman and the Law next week. Jerry Carson from Canton got a 11-point buck, Calhoun County. Whoops, and you were up with your bow at the end of October.
Right.
Almost dark.
Right. About 7 minutes of hunting light left, legal hunting light. And
Is there a difference between legal hunting light and other hunting light?
sure is.
Okay.
Big fine.
Yeah. So you were bow hunting out there. And why? Were you hunting for meat? You hunt for trophies?
I just love to be hunting. Anytime I got any extra time during hunting season, I'll be out in the woods.
Just deer hunting?
Mainly deer hunting. I'm married, and in order to stay married, you can only hunt so many things.
And this is written where?
My wife says so.
Okay. Well, that's good. That's absolutely. You know the rules then.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, indeed.
I'll be married 23 years, so doing
Well,
something right.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
I guess so. 23 years, man. Beat the odds all to heck. And you got does your wife hunt?
No.
Does she like hunting?
She's went hunting with me a couple of times, but she'd rather go to the mall.
And we encourage that, don't
Oh
we?
yeah, most definitely. She makes sure I work a lot of overtime so she can.
Well, that's good. And that's a heck of a buck you've got there. It looks like it had some velvet that it didn't get rubbed off down
Yeah,
there.
he dressed out at 219 and a half pounds, so he was a big deer.
Holy cow, I guess.
I've never seen him in the area. I do a lot of scouting and seen several different bucks, but this one, never seen it. So I think he was just out chasing does.
Chasing does. Okay, well, you being married 23 years, you are the Dr. Phil of the hunting world.
Thank you.
Michael Wren?
Yep.
From Clawson.
Yes.
Got a Great Lakes brown trout fishing up in West Grand Traverse Bay. And you can't beat the beauty up there. You got this in June. This was a 22 and a half pounder. Man, for a brown trout, that's a bruiser.
I caught it an hour before I came in, and there were newspaper people, and I'm going, it's a fish.
Do you fish a lot?
I do fish a lot when I get the chance.
What do you mean it's a fish?
Yeah, well, it's a nice fish.
Yeah, 22 and a half pound brown trout.
Yes, it is, and I wish I could have it here tonight, but the taxidermist is still working on it.
Well, understandably. Fish are tough to mount, actually. A lot of steps involved in that.
Yes, it is.
And you were surprised when you got back. Did,
Yep.
did they have a press conference? Was there paparazzi? Did they follow you home?
No, there was actually a news reporter there with a photographer and the whole shot, and a bunch of other people going, wow, that's a big fish. And then when we had it weighed in, there were a bunch of other charter captains there because the fishing's been quite slow.
Were you were sober there?
Yes, I was. It
But
was
you- I mean,
it was only
it looked
about
like
9
Shallow-
o'clock in the morning.
Okay. Yeah, well, no, it says 7:30 a.m.
Oh,
here.
7:30, excuse
But when
me.
you got back to the dock, it was what, noon?
Yeah, about noon.
Did you tell them it was a lot bigger before it shrunk?
No. The captain was telling them it was a lot bigger on the PA and stuff.
Oh,
He was calling everybody going, I caught the big fish.
Okay.
But it was it was a good fish. It was a pretty fish, and I'm proud of it.
But you know what? I got some bad news.
What's that?
It's just a fish.
I know, but the only problem is, I don't know when my wife is going to let me hang it up. You know. It's either going to be in the basement or the bathroom, you know.
Basement or the bathroom? Well, I tell you what. Good luck on that one. That's your next frontier.
Thank you.
The Michael Wren from Clawson. This is John Price from Unith, who got a largemouth bass, 21 inches, 5.5 pounds, fishing, it looks like blank comma Jackson.
Yeah, if I told you the lake, I'd have to shoot you. Because my neighbors would shoot me.
Okay,
Private
but
lake. Private lake. Nope. You keep your mouth shut. This is my son Josh.
Josh, and you catch a lot of fish, huh?
Catch a lot?
This is a 16-inch largemouth bass, and then this is an 18-inch largemouth bass, and this is a 15-inch bass, and this is another 18-incher, and then this is an 18-inch dogfish.
Now, you're holding the dogfish quite a distance from you compared with the bass.
He's on the end of the pole, right, Josh?
So who took him off?
My dad, because I couldn't take him off.
Yeah, a dogfish net lake, but mainly a bass lake, huh?
Yeah, a lot of good bluegill in there and a few good bass.
They have any brim?
No,
No brim?
no.
What is a brim?
Oh, brim, yeah, that's what some people in the South call, the bluegill and stuff.
How would you know?
Because I work with a lot of them from the South.
Well, you sound like you're from the South,
No, I
right?
was born and raised in Ypsilanti.
Really?
Yep.
Boy, you really picked up the accent from those boys that work in the South. But this is a private lake, probably by your house.
Yeah, in Jackson County.
So if we went on the web and looked up your address,
Yeah, you get it that way, but I might not offer you a chance to go fishing.
well, John Price from Unith, it sounds like you got a great fishing hole there. Good luck this season. We'll see you. I had a series of emails back and forth with a guy named John Singerling, who really doesn't want me to reveal exactly where he lives, in the northern part of the state. He said, I had a doe come in yesterday afternoon with 2 large fang bite marks on the top of her neck. My wife said the doe was in during the morning with blood and she was pawing with her hind foot at the wound. Now, I assume it's from a bear because there are more than usual around this year. Here's another older doe that came in this spring with open wounds down her side, and she had a fawn. Now, my backyard is a couple 100 acres of woods. I have digital photos from less than 10 feet away through my office window as the doe was eating what is left of our daylilies. If you have any idea, I'd appreciate your input. Well, John, here's my reaction just from looking at these right off the bat. Bears. They have a tough time getting close to deer and adult deer because deer are so alert and quick. If a bear did chomp down on the doe's neck, there's almost certainly be claw marks, raking marks on the body and the neck because bears usually grab like that and then bite. Same would go for a cougar. They use their claws and they pull the animals down and work them over, and biting is only a part of it. And generally, if a bear or a cougar got that close and got their teeth into the deer's neck, it'd be curtains. Now, what about wolves or coyotes? Wolves aren't in the area in the northern lower. Coyotes, too small, in my opinion, especially for an adult deer. I think what happened, one option would be a pack of dogs. I'm not talking wild dogs. I mean, look at this. Deer like this are used to walking around people's backyards, right next to your house. And dogs, domestic dogs, pets are real common in these areas. And it's relatively common for packs of domestic dogs to form and hunt in urban areas. Now, the way that happens is that people let their dogs out, they run free, but they get together. They have this kind of double life, and the owners don't think they're doing any harm. They're just gone for a few hours. I've seen packs of dogs chasing cattle. Now, that is not a pretty sight. I mean, they change personalities totally. They become wild, work themselves into a frenzy, even little dogs. But these scars on the neck of this deer, not the scars, you call them puncture wounds, they really don't look like bear or cougar or wolf. just not like teeth marks poking in. They look more than that, like it was maybe an encounter with a car or something caught it and ripped it, or maybe some man-made object, like if it had its head down under a fence or in some metal type of deal, and then it got spooked and startled, cut itself on the neck. I don't know. It wouldn't have been a snare because there's no marks encircling the neck. But maybe somewhere up in your area there's a car bumper or a tractor or some structure that has some deer hair on it that would explain these wounds. Well, thanks for that letter, those pictures, or those emails. Maybe our viewers have some ideas and theories on their own of what this was. In fact, you can go to the website and get more details on his letters.
This weekend, take a kid outdoors fishing, hunting, or just exploring. It's one of the greatest places to be, and we'll see you right back here next week.